Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Toyota Gazoo Racing Festival Season 3 Round 3, coming at you live from Stadium Negeri Pulau Pinang in Batu Kawan, Penang. My name is Victor Ang, and joining me here is Nick Harris, and we will be your commentators coming into our race number 2 on day number 2 for the sporting class. How are you doing, Nick Harris?
I'm doing great. I'm very happy to be here. Sangat-sangat bersyukurlah nak datang ke Pulau Pinang ini, dapat makanan, dapat makan makanan yang sedap, dapat merasai suasana perlumbaan yang hebat. Marilah kami saksikan sorotan-sorotan semalam di mana di mana sporting kategori telah pun berlawan antara satu sama lain 16 kereta di track.
So this was an interesting race here because we had Mirza Shami Mazlan actually starting ahead in P1 there because he snatched the position away at the last moment in qualifying. But however, tragedy struck when he actually crashed out while he was still in the lead, and that actually opened the door for Hayden Haikal to take P1. Throughout the entire race, though, I believe most of the battles were mostly focused between Tom Go, Wong Ching Ik, and Vincent Ng, who were battling in and out for P6. But for the rest of the drivers here, Kenneth Cole, he did finish in P2. A very strong finish for him, but that will actually cause him to start in P4 for the P5 for the actual race itself. A few tragedies definitely to be taken note of here, particularly with Mirza Shami Mazlan. I mean, he's going to be starting at the back of the grid for today's race, so it's going to be quite a difficult race for him, I expect, in race number 2. But let's not take away from the victory here from Hayden Haikal, and also for Kenneth Cole, who was able to hold off Adam Khalid despite facing so much pressure, especially towards the end of race number 1. But Hayden Haikal, with a dominating drive, he had a very big lead of 4.8 seconds ahead of Kenneth Cole, definitely showing that he is still the man to beat here in the sporting class, and that is also why he is the leader for the title here for the sporting class in the Toyota Gazoo Racing Festival Season 3.
Di mana semalam kami perhatikan perubahan cuaca tidak menjadi halangan bagi para pelumba kita untuk berlawan secara berterus-terusan antara satu sama lain untuk merampas kedudukan-kedudukan yang tinggi. Namun malang tidak berbau bagi Mirza Shami Mazlan semalam, di mana dia telah pun berjaya merampas kedudukan pertama daripada Hayden Haikal, namun telah pun dikeluarkan daripada pusingan semalam itu. Namun hari ini merupakan adakah nasib akan berulang bagi Mirza Shami Mazlan, atau adakah nasib akan lagi berfaktor kepada dia?
That's Tom Go there, the founder of 0200.com, definitely a big figure here in Malaysian motorsports, and he's going to be leading this entire pack here of the sporting class for race number 2. Following very closely behind him is car number 12, Haji Sultan Mustafa Salihin, and he notably is going to be one of the contenders for the title here between him and Hayden Haikal. But the Wonder Kid is definitely going to be one that is difficult to fight up against. And also coming up on the grid as well, we do see car number 28, that's Adam Khalid, who will be starting in P4 here. He definitely is looking forward to try to fight for a podium finish here, but to do so, he needs to be able to get past quite a few people, including Tom Gold, Haji Sultan, and of course Bradley Benedict Anthony. Now car number 81, Hayden Haikal, is definitely one of the guys to watch here for race number 2, because his finishing position here could very well determine how the title fight will continue on for race number 4. And starting from P6, he definitely has a lot to live up for. 40 kilograms he's going to be carrying his car. That's a lot more weight, than he did race in race number 1. So definitely he's going to have his work cut off of him. Will he still be able to maintain that dominance? We will find out in the race later on.
Sebanyak 40 kilogram merupakan beban yang akan ditambah kepada kereta Hayden Haikal itu. Mungkinkah itu akan menjadi satu halangan bagi dia untuk merampas kedudukan-kedudukan yang tinggi? Kami akan lihat ya daripada segi apa yang telah pun dimaklumkan daripada Victor dan para penaja dan para organizer kita pada hari ini adalah kedudukan top 6 top 6.
Top 6, yeah.
Ya, di mana top 6 itu akan ada reverse grid, di mana mereka akan daripada kedudukan terenam tertinggi akan terenam terbawah sekali. So kami akan lihat ya, di mana kedudukan para maaf saya, banyak kedudukan pemenang-pemenang pada semalam itu telah pun diubah suai, di mana banyak pemandu-pemandu ini beri peluang untuk menangkap balik kedudukan mereka di dalam di dalam table markah itu.
Yep. Bradley Benedict Anthony, who is starting in P3, definitely trying to collect his thoughts here as he waits on the starting line here, as the rest of the drivers will be assembling. Remember, we have 16 drivers on track. That's going to be the most we're going to be seeing throughout this weekend here. So definitely lots of potential for action, particularly for Adam Khalid. You know, he's starting in P4 and he wants to aim for that P1 there. You know, he is just hoping for the best here, definitely inside his car number 28.
Ya, kami akan lihat ya daripada segi kedudukan daripada segi kepenuhan track memang berbanding daripada pusingan tadi itu, memang banyak lagi kereta yang ada di dalam track ini, dan kami pun telah berbincang secara berpanjangan di mana semakin banyak kereta yang berada di dalam track, semakin banyak halangan yang diberi oleh para pemandu kita antara satu sama lain untuk berlawan antara mereka untuk merampas kedudukan mereka. Kami akan lihat kedudukan nombor 5 Kenneth Koh di dalam kereta nombor 77 mewakili Panglima City Racing Team, dan inilah dia Hayden Haikal di kedudukan nombor 6 dengan kereta 81. SND Motorsports merupakan pasukan yang dia mewakili di sebanyak umur berapa dia? 16 tahun, 15 tahun.
15 tahun.
15 years old. PMR pun telah belum tentu siap lagi dia boleh bawa kereta lagi bagus daripada saya. Memanglah satu benda yang boleh dikatakan bagus daripada segi talent, bakat dia. Vincent Ng daripada pasukan Focus memberi thumbs up, dia pun telah bersedia. Encik Sean Muganathan dengan double thumbs up, dia pun 2 kali ganda bersedia untuk berlumba. Muhammad Ismail Idris daripada Super Evergreen Motorsport di kereta nombor 36, di kedudukan nombor 10, mereka pun berjaya. Boleh nampak dalam mata mereka suasananya memang gemetar, suasananya memang tidak sabar untuk bermula perlawanan ini antara semua pemandu-pemandu yang berada di dalam track ini. Clement Yeoh daripada Distinctive Model di dalam kereta nombor 98 akan memenuhi kedudukan nombor 12. Jackson Tan yang tidak mewakili apa-apa pasukan di kereta nombor 93 di kedudukan nombor 13. Seterusnya kami akan perhatikan Eddie Tan daripada Saksama Motorsport di dalam kedudukan nombor 14 dalam kereta nombor 71. Dan inilah dia Haziq Zairel Kanani Racing Team merupakan pasukan yang dia mewakili kedudukan nombor 15. Dan terakhir sekali Mirza Syahmi Mazan, kereta nombor 97, kedudukan nombor 16, mewakili Elezo Motorsport. Boleh lihat tumpuan yang telah pun, fokus yang telah pun diberikan oleh Mirza Syahmi Mazan. Dan satu makluman bagi para penonton sekalian, Mirza Syahmi Mazan ini bagi pasukan Elezo Motorsports ini telah pun dimasuki secara last minute, boleh dikatakan sebagai satu replacement di dalam race ini.
Well, I think for sure for Mirza Syahmi Mazan, he definitely is only thinking more about trying to finish this race number 2 here, because you know it was a huge tragedy for him to crash out on lap number 1 yesterday. So definitely he's looking forward to just keep his head down, just drive smoothly and consistently. Try not to make too many mistakes and hopefully be able to fight for some good points here in race number 2, because pretty much he needs to try to salvage as much as he can for this weekend. Otherwise, it would have all gone to waste there, especially considering that we know for a fact that Mirza Syahmi Mazan has the pace, he has the speed and the capability to actually bring the fight to some of the top guys here in this class. It's just unfortunate that a few mistakes here and there has definitely cost him some important points in the battle for the title. But definitely, I would say for Mirza Syahmi Mazan, all the best, for him. I'm hoping to see that he can get at least a good finish here today in Batu Kawan Stadium.
Okey, kami akan 5 minit sebelum permulaan perlumbaan ini, dan safety car telah pun berada di atas track. Dia akan mulakan inspection lab dia di dalam jangka masa yang akan datang. Kami pun akan menunggui segala-gala maklumat yang akan diberikan bagi marshal ataupun bagi race director, pengumuman-pengumuman yang penting dan last minute inspection sebelum mereka akan ke permulaan lumba ini.
That's right, so drivers will again be waiting in anticipation. Remember guys, it is a very, very hot day over here in Penang. I believe it was 37 degrees if my thermometer is not broken. So it certainly is really cooking out there if you're out on track. And these drivers here will have their very physical, they're having a very big physical test here to see whether or not they can last throughout these 30 minutes or 22 laps that we have to race here in Batu Kawan Stadium.
Okey, kami boleh lihat persediaan-persediaan telah pun diselesaikan bagi para pemandu kita. Sebanyak 16 buah kereta berada di atas trek dan boleh dikatakan antara satu perlumbaan yang boleh dikatakan banyak sangat kereta di atas trek itu dan mungkin drama akan berlangsung antara pemandu kita. Kami pun telah lihat di mana semalam ada juga beberapa insiden-insiden yang telah pun berlaku antara driver-drivernya dan antara dinding-dindingnya. Tapi haraplah pada pusingan ini kami akan lihat satu perlumbaan yang bersih dan tiada sebarang insiden langsung akan berlangsung antara pemandu-pemandu kita.
I mean, 16 drivers on the track, you know, that's like, if you're a driver on there, there's 15 other people you could potentially collide into at any given moment. So, you know, the probability is very, very high, you know, and given that this is the last day of the weekend, I expect some of the drivers here will probably drive a little bit more aggressively, particularly those guys who are right in the midfield right now, because they know they have an opportunity here to try to gain some more points, especially with the reverse grid order here. For drivers like Hayden Haikal, for drivers like Adam Khalid, it's going to be pretty much a heat all the way to the end of the race here to see if they can try to finish ahead of each other. But pretty much, you know, this is the perfect moment for them to just collect the thoughts, you know, just keep their focus on just this race alone. Their only goal here today really is just to be able to finish the race with their car intact.
So kami akan lihat ya daripada segi mentality yang telah pun diambil oleh para para pemandu-pemandu kita adalah di mana ini adalah hari terakhir bagi Toyota Gazoo Racing Festival ini di Batu Kawan Penang ini. So, ini adalah peluang terakhir bagi banyak pemandu-pemandu kita yang berada di atas track ini untuk merampas sebanyak mungkin daripada segi mata untuk mengubah kedudukan mereka untuk mendekati juara. Tapi daripada segi risiko yang datang ya, banyak risiko yang boleh dikatakan yang boleh ditimpa oleh para pemandu kita jikalau mereka memandu dengan terlalu agresif. Penalti. Kadang-kadang kalau kita main terlalu agresif, mungkinkah mereka akan hilang lagi banyak daripada segi posisi atau mata, namun akan boleh ditimpa kerosakan terhadap kereta mereka, dan itu memanglah satu benda yang tidak yang perlu dielakkan bagi para pemandu kita. Okey, kita boleh dengar raungan enjin, persediaan-persediaan yang telah pun disediakan. Kami lihat marshal telah pun keluar daripada track kita. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, kami akan buat satu lagi pace lap sebelum kami ke grid dan akan start. Haraplah anda bersedia sebab perlumbaan ini akan berlangsung sebentar lagi.
Yeah, exactly right. I would say, you know, to your point about, you know, the risks that these drivers are going through, the thing is that, you know, if any of these drivers step a little bit out of line, you know that the race director will be calling them in. There will be penalties handed out for drivers who crash intentionally or otherwise drive in a very dangerous manner. So that's definitely going to be a deterrent here for some of these drivers to drive way too aggressively. But still, we want to see some good racing here today, especially here in Batu Kawan Penang. This is round number 3 of our 3rd season of the Toyota Gazoo Racing Festival, and the sporting class is about to go underway.
Kami pun telah ingatlah tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, janganlah bertepuk, janganlah berkecoh-kecohan sebab ini adalah pace lap sahaja. Inilah kedudukan-kedudukan bagi para pemandu kita pada hari ini. Tom Go dan Haji Sultan akan pada garis pertama, garis kedua Bradley Benedict Anthony bersama dengan Adam Khalid. Garis ketiga adalah Kenneth Ko bersama dengan Hayden Haikal, dan seterusnya garis keempat Wong Chin Ek bersama dengan Vincent Ng. Garis kelima Shan Muganathan bersama dengan Muhammad Ismail Idris. Garis ke-6 Tarmimi Tahang bersama dengan Clement Yeo, dan seterusnya garis ke-7 dan ke-8 akan kepada Jackson Tan dan Eddie Tan masing-masing, dan juga Haziq Zairul Oh dan Mirza Syahmi Mazan. Inilah pemandu-pemandu kita bagi kategori ini di Toyota Gazoo Racing Festival musim ketiga, kategori sporting perlumbaan kedua.
That's right. So 16 drivers now going to be taking their positions on the grid here. I mean, the main thing I want to watch out for is like how that start is going to unfold here, because again we've got people like Tom Go and Haji Sultan on the front row. Haji Sultan in particular will want to try to finish in the lead here for race number 2 to at least give himself a good points boost here in his battle against Hayden Haikal for the title championship. And again, we are going to be going into Sepang for race number 4, so there's still one more race to go, and the results here can very well dictate how that championship, how that title fight is going to transpire when we finally hit the road in the Sepang International Circuit.
Siapa bakal menjulang juara bagi musim ketiga Toyota Gazoo Racing Festival ini? Kami ada satu lagi perlumbaan yang akan berlangsung di Sepang yang akan datang nanti. So sekiranya anda ingin segala-gala sorotan, segala-gala update, segala-gala maklumat bagi Toyota Gazoo Racing Festival ini, silalah ke media-media sosial Toyota Malaysia dan ketikkan butang like. Bagilah semangat, bagilah support kepada Toyota Malaysia, dan anda akan mendapat segala maklumat secara senang di laman sosial Toyota Malaysia. So tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, pace lap telah pun diselesaikan. Kami akan bersedia sebanyak 22 lap akan diselesaikan bagi para pemandu kita. Adakah Tom Go akan berpegang kepada tempatnya, posisinya? Lampunya merah, lampunya akan dipadamkan, dan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, pusingan ini telah pun bermula.
Bit of contact there between Adam Khalid and Carlos 77 Kenneth Call. A bit of an insight to the incident here going into turn 1. Quite a lot of contact, I have to say here. Looking very much a mess here coming into the start of the race. But Tom Go is able to stay ahead of the trouble here, staying in the lead in front of car number 55, Bradley Benedict. What happened to Haji Sultan? He didn't have a good start there. He's going to be facing a lot of pressure from Adam Khalid coming down towards turn 3. All cars coming down single file line as we come down towards turn 5. Adam Khalid still facing a lot of pressure. He's still able to hold on despite all that pressure, but he needs to try to find a way to keep Adam Khalid at bay. Haji Sultan now, Adam Khalid having an inside look here, takes away position from Haji Sultan. He goes up into P3. Bradley Benedict though, he's starting to get some pressure onto Tom Go. Could we be seeing another battle here transpire as we go for the battle for P1?
Perlawanan-perlawanannya memang hangat. Kepanasan matahari pada hari ini memanglah kami lihat. Satu lagi kemalangan telah pun berlaku di belakang.
Big pile up. There's a big pile up here on the straight here just before the turns, and unfortunately it looks like a lot of cars are involved. Car number 68, that's going to be Vincent Ng, is holding up the rest of the field here. They can't move until his car is out of the way. All the guys in the back markers here are completely held, including Mirza Shami Mazlan. He's completely dead in the water. The red flag has been raised. The drivers will have to wait on the start line as they have to clear up this mess here that is built up at the back of the track.
Ya ampun, seteruk-teruknya performance yang telah pun dijalankan oleh top 5 kita, oleh kedudukan top 5 kita. Namun kami akan lihat sebanyak 6 kereta telah pun berkemalangan antara satu sama lain, dan telah pun sebanyak bendera merah inilah dia replay yang telah pun kenanya. Tengok itu Victor, overturn yang telah pun kena, terkena dinding, dan itulah permulaan sebanyak 6 kereta bersatu sama lain berlanggaran di dinding itu. Memanglah malang tidak berbau bagi kereta nombor 63 itu, tidak silap saya.
68 actually.
68, maaf saya.
But I couldn't quite tell who was the car who actually slammed into him there because it looks like he sustained quite a bit of damage. But certainly for Vincent Ng, it was mostly his error there coming into the turn. He hit the wall on the exit, and that set up the chain reaction that we've just witnessed now. So with the red flag out, it's going to be pretty much a stoppage here for the race. We're going to be waiting for all the cars to return to the grid later on. They will not be allowed to do any repairs in the pits, at least for the cars that were not affected by this little incident. But now they will have to go for a restart here, and look at that. I mean, it's going to be quite a bit of a headache here to try to move away some of these cars because it is very, very packed here in the turns 1 and 2.
Telah pun kita katakan sebanyak 16 pemandu berada di atas track dan drama mungkin akan berlaku, dan inilah dia sebanyak 6 atau 7 kereta antara satu sama lain telah pun berlanggaran antara satu sama lain. Bermulanya dengan kereta nombor 68 Vincent Ng yang telah pun mengambil cornernya dengan mungkin terlalu laju, bertemu dengan dinding, dan selaginya semua kereta yang berlainan yang telah pun bertemu dengan Vincent Ng telah pun dikeluarkan. Haraplah tiada sebarang kecederaan yang teruk, tiada sebarang kerosakan yang terlalu parah ke atas kereta-kereta lomba bagi orang-orang yang terbabit di dalam kemalangan itu. Kami akan mendapat maklumat selanjutnya. Tapi untuk makluman para penonton sekalian, bagi kategori sporting class ini, semua kereta akan kembali kepada grid untuk satu lagi permulaan yang baru di bawah safety car. So ini merupakan satu prosedur untuk menjaminkan keselamatan bukan sahaja untuk para penonton kita, bukan untuk pemandu kita, bukan untuk segalanya, tapi untuk marshal kita. Segala-gala keselamatan adalah terutama di dalam bidang perlumbaan ini. Dan kami akan lihat sebanyak 3 tow truck akan keluar ke atas track ini, dan ini akan mengambil masa yang agak lama untuk mereka menyelesaikan kemalangan ini. So dalam pengalaman Victor, adakah ini kemalangan terteruk yang kita telah pun perhatikan sebanyak pengalaman kita mengkomentar di dalam Toyota Gazoo Racing Festival ini?
I don't feel like it was a high speed impact, but that's not to say that it could be quite a bit of whiplash, especially for Vincent Ng, because not only he had contact on the front, but later on he got impacted on the side as well. So I think there's be quite a bit of forces acting upon him during that accident. But I think he's probably okay if we don't see any of the drivers having require some severe medical attention. We do see some of the drivers been just walking around expecting some of the damage there, and definitely, just taking in the sight that has befallen them right here on the track. But certainly this stoppage here does mean that this race is going to be pretty much delayed here until we are able to get all of these cars off the track, and it's going to be a very, very difficult job here. So I mean, I just have to give my hats off to the marshals, because these are the men right now who are going up in front here and trying their best to clear the damage, to clean up the track. We do see one of the cars, number 71, Eddie Dunn, actually able to roll away, but his rear bumper has definitely seen some better days. But these guys will definitely try to make their way towards the start grid and hopefully be able to resume the race here with despite the fact they have quite a bit of damage to their car.
Boleh dikatakan kadar kerosakan tidak begitu teruk, namun daripada segi kerosakan arah bumpernya, dia boleh membawa kesan yang buruk kepada aerodinamik keretanya, sebab dengan boleh dikatakan piece-piece yang begitu, yang kecil-kecil ni yang terkeluar sedikit-sedikit, dia menambahkan wind resistance. So boleh dikatakan tidak sedap lah untuk bawa keretanya, sebab perlawanan aerodynamicsnya lah boleh dikatakan.
That's one aspect of it for sure, but the other aspect is that hanging parts of the car like that can actually fall off and actually hit other cars. Fortunately enough, these cars are closed cabins. They have a windshield in front, so they should be able to prevent most of the damage coming onto the drivers here if any parts of these cars cars fall off, but certainly it will present a bit of a hazard, I think, for racing. So I wonder what will be the procedure here for these cars, because again, under the restart rules, they're not allowed to go into the pits to do any repairs. So this could be a bit of a conundrum here, and I hope that the race director will make a pretty good decision about what to do about a lot of these cars, because look at the amount of damage they have on them. It's not insignificant damage. I mean, for sure, these cars can still roll around. They don't seem to have severe suspension damage. We do see one of the cars actually start to make their way towards the pits, and car number 36, that is Muhammad Ismail Idris, he's having a few words with the trackside marshals here to determine whether or not he should go back to the start grid or should he just go back into the pits through the escape road. So it's a little bit of pandemonium, a little bit of confusion, but nevertheless, I think we just have to be a little bit patient and see how all of this plays out.
Daripada segi kadar kerosakan yang telah pun ditimpa oleh kebanyakan kereta yang terbabit dalam kemalangan itu, bukan saja daripada segi aerodynamicsnya, namun balance-nya, daripada segi tetapan keretanya boleh dikatakan akan terjejas bila bila kerosakan telah pun dikenakan ke arah badan keretanya. So boleh dikatakan walaupun vital part bahagian-bahagian yang penting seperti enjin atau suspension atau tayarnya tidak pancit, tidak rosak dan keretanya tetap boleh jalan, namun keselamatan adalah faktor paling utama dipentingkan bagi para penaja kita hari ini di Toyota Gazoo Racing Festival ini. So ini adalah satu benda yang boleh dikatakan akan mengambil masa yang lama juga. Biarlah track kita selamat, tapi lagi bagus mengambil masa yang lama untuk menjamin track itu selamat daripada mengambil masa yang singkat tapi tracknya tidak selamat.
Yeah, so that we saw Jackson Tan. Actually, I think he's going to retire from the race there, because looking at the damage on the front there, it could be possible that his intercooler has been pierced, so he may not be able to rejoin the race here, and that is so unfortunate for Jackson Tan, because again, the entire chain reaction there was instigated by a contact with the wall there from Vincent Ng, and Jackson Tan, who was really his only fault was just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. So it's definitely a heartbreaking moment here for his team, and hopefully they will be able to recover well enough to be able to come back racing again for round number 4. But as far as round 3 is concerned, looks like their weekend is done. But not so for some of the pit crew who are right now out on the grid trying to do some last-minute repairs here and just inspecting generally the car's condition to see whether or not it is still race-worthy. So it looks like they have already completely removed the rear bumper and currently trying to apply some quick fixes there. Look at that, just using duct tape. Duct tape pretty much is the main tool for a lot of people in order to get stuff done, and it's particularly going to be the case here for these pit crew, because they're just using duct tape to tie together whatever wires and cables they can, just trying to get that muffler back into its right position here. But it's definitely not going to be an easy task for them for sure, especially working under the hot blazing sun and the hot asphalt right underneath them.
Boleh nampaklah daripada segi hasil kerja keras pit crew pasukan terbabit, boleh nampaklah hasil kerja keras mereka di atas dahi mereka dan di atas badan mereka berpuluh-puluhan di bawah matahari panas terik ini. Dan kami akan lihat daripada segi apa yang telah pun berlaku. Bendera merah telah pun dikibar, telah pun dilambaikan. Ya,
lambaikan. Ya, I think that's the word.
Rasanya lah. Maaflah para penonton sekalian kalau bahasa Malaysia saya agak kaku sikit. So, tapi bagi kita punya pemandu-pemandu yang ada pada hari ini ni, rasanya semuanya selamat. Rasanya tiada sesiapa yang perlu dikeluarkan daripada track dengan ambulans. So bagus jugalah daripada segi keselamatan, tiada siapa-siapa yang tercedera, namun kerosakan kepada kereta memang akan cederakan hati kepada para pemandu kita yang telah pun dikeluarkan daripada perlumbaan ini. Agak malang bagi pemandu-pemandu kita. Marilah kami lihat balik kepada replay tadi yang akan datang sebentar nanti, di mana kemalangan itu bermula. Mari kita lihat sebentar saja. Sambil lihat ya, daripada segi di pit nanti, menggeleng kepala dia, tidak percaya, haraplah kerosakannya tidak begitu parah. dan haraplah kami akan lihat dia balik ke arah track Muhammad Ismail Idris daripada Super Evergreen Motorsport di dalam kereta 36 tadi. Mari kita lihat replay tadi Victor Ang.
Yep, so Vincent Ng was following very closely behind. I think it was Bradley Benedict, or could be actually Hayden Heikal. So he went way too wide there at the exit. So that first contact actually put his car pretty much covering almost the entirety of the track. So whoever was behind him definitely did not only he did not have time to react, he didn't have any space to actually escape the carnage there. So it was pretty much game over at that point for both Vincent Ng and whoever was actually behind him. I couldn't quite tell actually because from this angle it's not too clear which number car it is. It's pretty much a white car, but one thing's for sure, he definitely sustained a heck of a lot of damage there, especially to his rear end. So that pretty much put a few cars here out of contention. There was Muhammad Ismail Idris and Jackson Tan. They have both appear to have retired from the race. We do see car number 71, that's Eddie Tan, still having his rear bumper taken out, and we also have car number 36. Oh, sorry, not 36. There was another car up in front there is also looking to try to get some last-minute repairs in order to try to get it back up to race worthiness. But for the rest of the grid, though, it's pretty much going to be just a sit-and-wait situation here. They have to wait for the race director to finally give the all-clear, for the marshals to finally clear up all the debris on the track, and for them to actually be able to get this race underway.
Di mana kita lihat ya, rasanya kadar kerosakan bagi Vincent Ng adalah terlalu parah. Kedua tepi, maaf saya, belah kiri keretanya telah pun kemek, fender depannya dengan bumper belakangnya telah pun kemek. Begitu teruknya Vincent Ng telah pun dikeluarkan daripada pusingan ini. Haraplah mereka boleh memulihkan segala kerosakan yang telah pun dikenakan bagi kereta Vincent Ng, dan kami akan lihat dia di dalam pusingan seterusnya di Sepang nanti. Namun kami akan lihat ini merupakan malang yang ditimpa, yang dikenakan oleh, yang telah pun diterima oleh pemandu-pemandu kita yang terbabit di dalam kemalangan tadi. Itu merupakan satu peluang bagi ahli-ahli pemandu lain untuk menangkap balik mata-mata dan posisi-posisi bagus. So ini merupakan satu peluang bagi pemandu-pemandu kita untuk bersaing lagi, bersaing dengan begitu bagus antara satu sama lain.
Yeah, we are seeing the race director actually having a few words with his fellow drivers here, just making sure that they're all okay and that they're ready to restart the race later on. Just it's vitally important, for the race director to ensure that we have the best conditions here for racing, and by just going around here and inspecting the different drivers and the cars, making sure that these cars are safe enough to stay on track. So this is definitely going to be a waiting moment for a lot of us here. I do apologize for the viewers at home, but we do have to ensure that everything, all the checks are in place before we can resume our race here. This is Clement Yo's car, number 98, and he definitely has taken the brunt of a lot of damage. However, it looks like the team has decided they want to continue racing, so I did see that the rear muffler was a little bit hanging loose there. I just hope the pit crew was going to be able to fix that in time for them to go to restart. If not, they probably may have to miss out the race. So that's the race director just looking on, seeing the extent of the damage there onto Clement Yo's car. So see what they say.
Kami akan lihat ya kajian daripada race director kita, director perlumbaan kita. Tengoklah itu teruk sangat kadar kerosakan yang telah pun dikenakan kepada kereta nombor 98 yang milik kepada Clement Yo Ing Chai. Dan begitu bagusnya race director kita dengan begitu cepat dan begitu laju berpergi kepada setiap kereta satu-satu dan memberi arahan-arahan yang jelas. Biarlah perlumbaan ini akan berlangsung dengan cepat.
Maybe one lap or two laps they come in and safety car start. That's all. Right? No starting launching no more. No safety car start.
Okay, so that's confirmation from the race director there that we will be going for a safety car start, so it wouldn't be a launch off the line here. They will have to roll out with the pace car, and then we will restart once the pace car goes into the pit. So this is just to ensure, for one, to ensure that the start will be not affected by situations that may be unideal for some of these cars, especially given that a lot of these guys have quite a bit of damage, and quite frankly, there are some concerns, I think, from the race director that some of these parts might actually fall off, especially when these cars start to get up to speed. So at least a pace car start should allow them to make a judgment about whether some of these cars are actually race-worthy enough to remain in the race.
Boleh dikatakan banyak part-part tajam yang telah pun terkeluar daripada badan-badan kereta ni, dan itu merupakan satu faktor yang boleh dikatakan membahayakan pemandu-pemandu kita di dalam perlumbaan-perlumbaan ini, sebab daripada segi apa yang kita telah pun lihat daripada segi cara pemanduan mereka, banyak close contact antara satu sama lain. Uish.
So if you can't fix it, just break it off, I guess. Whoa! That's a flying piece going on there. But again, quick fixes like these have to be done, you know, and the decision was made, you know, that they have to either fix it or get rid of it, and it seems like they are deciding to go with the latter.
Boleh dikatakan sakit jugalah kepada keretanya, namun perlu diketukkan, perlu dikeluarkan. Keselamatan adalah diutamakan, namun satu piece itu akan dikorbankan bagi kereta. Tidak silap saya, Clement Yeo Eng Chai ini. Kereta Clement Yeo Eng Chai ke?
No, I think it's another car actually. Clement Yeo's car is right in front of him. But it's amusing to see. But again, you know, when it comes to repairs, you just pretty much have to do what you can at any given moment. And especially when you're lacking spare parts or tools, you just pretty much have to make do what you have. So you can see pit crews are just having to cobble together a quick solution, you know, a combination of duct tape, of just removing or adding parts, and just using stuff like, look at this, using the lever, the leverage from a pipe here in order to try to bend the fender out to prevent it from rubbing against the rear wheel. Again, these are kind of like the ingenious sort of like techniques that the pit crew has to come up with on the fly, especially in the high pressure situation like a race here, because if they fail to get the car ready in time for the race, that pretty much ends the entire weekend for them. So I just hope that the Clement Yeo's car can still continue to fight for some points here, because again, that's a really significant amount of damage to his rear end. I just hope his suspension isn't just as affected as it appears from the outside.
So kami lihat ya, sebanyak 5 minit akan diambil sebelum kami akan ke permulaan perlumbaan ini. Dan ingatlah para penonton sekalian, kami akan ada satu permulaan safety car di mana apakah perbezaan antara launch start dengan rolling start dengan safety car start, Victor?
So I think there's not much difference, I think, between a rolling start and a safety car start. This is that safety car start is typically used in situations like these where, you know, there has been an on-track incident and they want to ensure that, you know, the situation is clear enough for these cars to continue. So in a rolling start situation, normally they only go for one pace lap and then they will start the race. In this case, with a safety car, they would just go however many laps they need before the race director makes a determination that the racing can resume, and that usually depends on whether or not the cars are in good condition, and also whether or not the track is in good condition for racing.
Dan haraplah tiada sebarang kesulitan yang akan ditimpa oleh para pemandu kita. Kami akan menunggu untuk seketika untuk permulaan perlumbaan ini di bawah safety car. Dan kami akan buat satu lagi pusingan sebelum pusingan itu telah pun diselesaikan. Kami akan melihat di mana adakah tracknya selamat, adakah keretanya yang berada di atas grid ini boleh berfungsi dengan selamat atau tidak. Kalau tidak, kami akan lihat banyak lagi kesulitan yang akan berlangsung, akan ditimpa oleh para pemandu kita. Race safety car kita telah pun memberi guidance kepada semua pemandu-pemandu kita, dan kami akan berlangsung dengan perlawanan kita, dengan perlumbaan kita dalam jangka masa yang akan datang.
I think one thing that the race director will definitely be looking at is going to be some of the pace of these cars. So especially with those guys who had sustained the most damage, if their pace is way off compared to the rest of the field here, they might potentially ask them to enter the pits under maybe a black flag, as in like a technical problem with the car, because again it could be dangerous for some of these guys if they are not able to go up to speed as compared to the other drivers. When it comes to a racing situation, that could actually be a dangerous situation for most of the other drivers on the track. But looking at the rest of the grid so far, I mean, mainly is the back like 7 cars I think that were affected by this unfortunate incident. So for the rest of the guys, it looks like they're just completely fine. They just have to they can just resume racing as normal. So safety car will still be going out on this lap, it looks like. So we'll be waiting and we will let you guys know when the race will be beginning.
Untuk makluman para penonton dan hadirin sekalian, kita telah pun mendapati siapa yang tidak berada di atas grid ini dan siapa telah pun disingkirkan di dalam pusingan sporting class ini. Perlumbaan kedua, Muhammad Ismail Idris, Vincent Ng, Tarmimi Tahang dan Jackson Tan merupakan keempat-empat pemandu yang tidak akan berlumba lagi. Tapi kami akan lihat ya beberapa pemandu yang telah pun terbabit di dalam kemalangan itu akan berlumba balik. Kami tetap akan di bawah safety car start, tapi kami akan lihat di mana adakah perlawanannya akan bermula sekejap lagi, sebab kami tetap akan mendapat lagi banyak makluman daripada race director yang akan datang nanti.
So the thing is that Mirza Shami Mazan, again, he has to start from the back of the grid, and there's a lot of guys in front of him who had quite a bit of damage. So he could potentially, given that his car is mostly in good condition here, he could potentially make a few good overtakes here, just taking advantage of the fact that his other rivals here on track may not have the best of aerodynamic situations here, and perhaps a little bit shaken up by the collision early on. But in any case, for those up in front, I mean, Tom Go and Haji Sultan, they will continue to be in front of the grid here, along with Bradley Benedict in P3, Adam Khalid in P4. Hayden Haikal is still going to be stuck in P6, that's right behind Kenneth Cole and in front of Won Ching Ik. Sean Muganathan Agmugram is going to be in 8th position. Clement Yo Ing Chai going to be in 9th. He's the one with quite a big dent in his bumper. Also, with a dent in his bumper is Eddie Tan, and then right behind him is Hasik Zariel O, our replacement driver for this round of the Toyota Gazette Racing Festival. And of course, the last person in is going to be Mirza Shami Mazan, all the way in the back in P12.
Dengan kibaran bendera hijau, kami telah pun sambung balik kepada perlumbaan ini di kategori di kelas sporting. Sebanyak 18 lap perlu diselesaikan bagi para pelumba-pelumba kita. Marilah kami lihat balik kepada kedudukan mereka. Tom Go berada di kedudukan pertama, Haji Sultan kedua, Bradley Benedict Anthony berada di kedudukan ketiga, Adam Khalid dan Kenneth Cole berada di tempat keempat dan kelima masing-masing. Hayden Haikal, Won Chin Ek, Sean Muganathan Arumugan, Clement Yo Ing Chai, Eddie Tan, Hazik Zairel Oh dan Mirza Shami Mazan merupakan baki-baki pelumba yang ada di dalam grid ini. So boleh dikatakan dengan kekurangan kereta yang ada di dalam track ini, boleh dikatakan
Haji Sultan.
Haji Sultan cuba sebaik mungkin untuk mencucuk Tom Go daripada belak kiri dan kanan, namun Tom Go bermain dengan bertahankan cucukan yang datang daripada Tom Go dengan bagus. Namun Haji Sultan akan cuba sebaik mungkin untuk mencucuk lagi, tapi tidak jauh daripada Haji Sultan adalah Bradley Benedict dan juga Adam Khalid akan berlawan antara satu sama lain untuk kedudukan masing-masing.
Yep, so the race is now underway again. So Haji Sultan is providing a lot of pressure onto Tom Go, as indicated by my fellow commentator Nick here. So the thing is that Tom Go is definitely going to have to drive very defensively from this point on, because Haji Sultan is within half a second of him coming down chicanes here, and definitely will be in a position to capitalize on any mistakes with Tom Go. Tom looks like he went very defensively towards the exit of that turn there, which is turn 8, as it now enters towards enters turn 9 and turn 10. He will still be able to maintain himself in front of Haji Sultan, but with the gap being so narrow between the two of them, it may be only a matter of time before Haji Sultan will try to find his angle to strike.
Kami akan lihat ya, Haji Sultan sekarang boleh dikatakan bersabar untuk mencari peluang yang akan yang boleh diambil kesempatan oleh Haji Sultan. Namun Tom Go boleh dikatakan tidak membuat apa-apa kesilapan, dan kami lihat daripada segi Tom Go berpegang kepada kedudukan dia. Start off race 2, start left one team at racing incident, no further action. So okay, kami telah pun mendapat makluman daripada race director ini pada pusingan race, pada perlumbaan kedua ini, di mana permulaannya telah digelarkan sebagai satu insiden di mana tiada sebarang tindakan akan diambil selanjutnya. So boleh dikatakan perlumbaan ini akan berterusan dan bersambung secara langsung. So jangan risau pada penonton sekalian, kami akan cuba sebaik mungkin untuk menyampaikan komentar dan menerangkan aksi-aksi hebat yang telah pun berlaku di stadium Batu Kawan Penang ini.
So it looks like Tom Go is stepping up to the challenge here. He set the fastest Sector 1 of the session so far. Coming across the line now, what is going to be his lap time? He says 1:17. Haji Sultan can only muster at 1:18. That's not going to be enough for him to keep the pressure up. So as a result, the gap is now sitting at 1 second between Tom Go and Haji Sultan. Tom Go indeed wants to be able to keep P1 here. Bradley Benedict, though, he is having a look on the inside there of Haji Sultan, flashing his lights there, letting his presence be known that he maybe wants to try to take away P2. He certainly is in the best position to do so, but he needs to watch out as well, because Adam Khalid is falling very closely behind him. So it's a three-way battle pretty much going for P2 here between Haji Sultan, Bradley Benedict, and Adam Khalid.
Kami akan lihat ya daripada segi cara pemanduan kebanyakan para pemandu kita boleh dikatakan agak konservatif juga, mengikuti kepada garis pandu yang elok, dan kami akan lihat ya daripada segi kedudukan kedua ini, posisi kedua ini, kami akan lihat Bradley Benedict Anthony akan berlawan bersama Haji Sultan, tapi tidak jauh dari belakangnya adalah Adam Khalid bersama dengan Kenneth Ko memberi cucukan antara satu sama lain. Hayden Haikal berpegang kepada kedudukan nombor 6, namun kami akan lihat daripada perspektif perlawanan Tom Go bersama dengan Haji Sultan yang akan cuba sebaik mungkin untuk berlawan antara satu sama lain untuk kedudukan nombor pertama ini, namun Tom Go berpegang teguh kepada kedudukannya.
Yep, so for the moment, there's no major changes yet. Most of these guys are now starting to set the 1:17s here, especially for the top 6 drivers right now. So these guys are definitely starting to pull ahead off the rest of the grid here. A 1.9 second, actually, 1.9 second gap, I should say, between Hayden Haikal and Wang Qingyi. This just goes to show how competitive the front of the field is at the moment. And Bradley Benedict, though, he is still keeping the pressure up onto Haji Sultan. He's still trying to find a good opportunity to make an overtake, but he has to be cautious about where and when he decides to do so. He doesn't want to end up putting himself in a position where he might get himself penalized again for improper contact. But Bradley Benedict almost having a look at the inside there of Haji Sultan as he come out of chicane, but unfortunately the door was closed on him on the exit before he could actually make any moves there. But Haji Sultan definitely knows that Bradley Benedict is pretty fast and he's waiting for his chance. Oh, maybe he might have done it there. Oh! Close the door on him again. So Bradley Benedict almost had a look at the inside there, coming down towards turn 8 and turn 9. But Haji Sultan still able to stay very much on the defense here, sticking to his guns here, preventing Bradley Benedict from getting a leg up over him.
Memang begitu bagus yang datang daripada Bradley Benedict untuk berpegang kepada kedudukannya, namun kami akan lihat ya, dia tetap akan cuba sebaik mungkin untuk menekan Haji Sultan daripada kiri ke kanan namun tidak berjaya untuk merampas kedudukannya. Haji Sultan sekarang bermain dengan agak konsisten ke arah pusingan ke arah lap nombor 12 ini. So kami lap nombor 7 ini, dan kami akan lihat ya daripada segi apa yang telah pun kami perhatikan daripada semua pemandu ini. Masa yang antara masa yang terbaik adalah 1 minit 17 saat 632 sesaat. So kami akan lihat ya bukan sahaja daripada segi kelajuan di dalam trek, namun kawalan dalam trek, sebab kami lihat daripada segi corner-corner yang ada ini memang tidak senang untuk untuk pandukan kereta di atas trek ini.
You know, just a little report about what's going on in the back of the grid. Mirza Shami Mazan has gotten past Haziq Zariel O to take P11 right now. He's starting to chase up to Eddie Don. He's just set the fastest lap of the session of 117.439. So he's certainly looking to try to make his way through the back of the field here and hopefully get some points in the midfield. We'll keep you updated on this development while we still continue to focus on the battle here between Haji Sultan, Bradley Benedict, and Adam Khalid up for P2. But for the rest of the guys here, Bradley Benedict, he tried to go for the feint there, didn't quite find the inside. Haji Sultan was able to close it off. He tried to go for the outside, but Adam Khalid's looking at this and possibly an opportunity to attack Bradley Benedict. Bradley Benedict only barely holding on by a hair's whip, and is going to be able to stay the course here, going down turn 4. Now he tries to go for the outside again. Haji Sultan moves to defend, but he dives immediately on the inside there, preventing Bradley Benedict from being able to make a move before chicane. But Bradley Benedict still holding on despite all the pressure. He has a look on the inside here, coming out of the chicane, but doesn't quite have the speed to get past Haji Sultan, so he will concede for now. Haji Sultan just holding on to that P2, holding as if he's holding on for dear life.
Haji Sultan sekarang berpegang teguh kepada kedudukan nombor 2. Kami akan lihat Tom Go sekarang akan menerima tekanan daripada Haji Sultan. Haji Sultan akan cuba sebaik mungkin, Haji Sultan akan cuba sebaik mungkin untuk memberi tekanan kepada Tom Go, namun dia kena menutup jarak antara dia dengan Haji Sultan. Adakah itu merupakan satu benda yang mustahil, Victor?
I don't know, because right now for Haji Sultan, he's very much focused on the guy behind him, just wanting to make sure that Bradley Benedict doesn't find a gap, and that unfortunately prevents him from being able to pull away from him and trying to bring the fight to Tom Go. So as a result, Tom has a 2.7 second gap ahead of Haji Sultan, so he's pretty much pulling away with the lead right now, and pretty much might finish in P1 if he's left uncontested like that. So very much for Haji Sultan, he wants to get this battle done and over with between him and Bradley Benedict, but Bradley is certainly not making his life any easier now. Diving on the inside there, going for the middle, German shot chicane. Haji Sultan has some contact with Adam Khalid as well, as he had to slow down. That could be a bit of damage. It could be a big moment here for Haji Sultan. Now Adam Khalid moving in for the kill. He almost tried to go for the inside line there, coming out of chicane, but Haji Sultan still holds on. Bradley Benedict now, the beast has been unleashed. There's nothing standing between him and Tom Gore. Haji Sultan though, he is in big trouble.
Setelah satu persembahan yang bermalang bagi Bradley Benedict di bandar Malaysia, Bradley Benedict sekarang menunjukkan taringnya, lalu mematuk Haji Sultan ke arah kedudukan nombor ketiga, lalu merampas kedudukan nombor 2 daripada Bradley Benedict. Satu cubaan yang bagus, lalu berjaya untuk merampas kedudukannya daripada Haji Sultan. Sekarang di sasarannya adalah Tom Go dengan sebanyak 10 lagi lap. Adakah Bradley Benedict akan cuba sebaik mungkin untuk merampas Tom Go, atau adakah dia akan bertahankan kedudukannya daripada Haji Sultan?
I guess we will find out once it comes across the line later on, but for now Haji Sultan, he's facing a lot of trouble. He's dropping massively off the pace after that bit of contact there, but Adam Khalid is still not able to find a way to get past him for now. But look at that, Bradley Benedict just leaving this entire train in the dust. He's having a significant lead ahead of Haji Sultan, but he still needs to make up a big gap there between him and Tom Go before he can start the fight for P1. But with 10 laps to go, I think the youngster is definitely in a good position here to try to fight for that lead.
Kami akan lihat ya daripada segi apa yang diperhatikan di dalam lagi 10 lap. Tom Go cuba sebaik mungkin untuk mendapat sebanyak jurang jarak yang boleh, dan kami akan lihat ya jurang jaraknya agak tinggi sebanyak 2 kereta dan daripada masa sebanyak 3 saat. Tapi kami akan lihat ya Haji Sultan tetap akan menang. Adam Khalid akan menekan kepada Haji Sultan. Haji Sultan sebaik mungkin akan mempertahankan kedudukannya dengan menutup pintu. Namun kami akan lihat Adam Khalid cuba sebaik mungkin daripada kanan ke kiri, daripada kiri ke kanan untuk mencari garis lumba untuk melepasi Haji Sultan.
So turn 3 is coming up. Look at Haji Sultan is taking a very defensive line there. And Khalid is trying to look for the inside there, but Haji Sultan is just not letting him have that chance there. He blocks him off before the entry into turn 3, just maintains it going to turn 4. He keeps the door closed onto Anna Khalid. There's no way past for him for now, but the chicanes will be coming out soon. Anna Khalid now trying to make his move from the outside there, but Haji Sultan very defensively sticks to the inside. No way for him to pass. Anna Khalid has to be able to cut in there and might be facing a bit of attack there for car number 77, Kenneth Cole. Kenneth Cole now taking opportunity while Anna Khalid waves his hand in frustration over at Tom Go. In the meantime, though, in the back line, looks like Clement Yo, despite having so much damage on the back, is able to get past Sham Muganathan, Amurugam, Mirza Shami Mazan is able to make his way up to P10 as well, and he's just set another fastest lap record here, a 117.2 for this session.
Di mana perlawanan-perlawanan kita telah pun dibahagikan kepada 2 atau 3, di mana Tom Go berlawan dengan Bradley Benedict dan mempertahankan Bradley Benedict. Namun kami akan lihat perlawanan satu lagi antara Bradley Benedict dengan Haji Sultan. Adam Khalid pun akan menekan kepada kedudukannya. Kenneth Cole cuba sebaik mungkin untuk menekan Adam Khalid. Adakah peluang akan menunjukkan dirinya? Namun tidak, telah pun dinafikan oleh Adam Khalid.
Adam Khalid is definitely feeling a lot of frustration there. He almost had Haji Sultan there, but Haji Sultan's defensive driving there completely blocked off any opportunity for him to get past. But now with the pressure coming in from behind here for Kenneth Cole and Hayden Haikal, he needs to try to focus more about keeping his racing line intact here, as we are seeing him just trying his best now to try to maintain P4, but Kenneth Cole is certainly keeping the pressure going, just staying so close to him, coming down the turns towards the chicanes. Haji Sultan, though, is taking his opportunity to slowly peel away from the rest of the grid there, and it looks like Adam Khalid might not be able to keep up for much longer here, as Kenneth Cole continues to keep up the chase going into turn number 8. I think we got a bit of contact there. Clement Yo's car has just hit the wall a little bit, but looks like he's still able to roll away. So I hope that he had not sustained too much damage there. He is continuing to run on this race. In the meantime, right behind him, Mirza Shami is definitely having his sights onto Aishan Muganathan. He looks like he might want to try to go for another overtake there to take P9. I hope he can have the director have a look over at Mirza Shami, because I believe this man is starting to make a good climb.
Mirza Shami sekarang cuba sebaik mungkin untuk boleh dikatakan mendaki gunung posisi yang telah pun disediakan daripada kedudukan terakhir. Dia berjaya untuk menaik setinggi-tingginya ke kedudukan nombor 10. Namun kami akan lihat Tom Go tetap akan berpegang kepada.
Oh no.
Aduh, kesiannya dengan keretanya telah pun
that's Clement Yo's car. I believe he must have slipped out there, and this is a look at what happened here. So Clement Yo, remember, he had a little bit of contact with the concrete barrier earlier on, and this is a look. Oh, look at that, completely slid out there, but fortunately enough, there's a good escape road there, so he's able to park his car in place. No obstruction there. That's huge credit there to Clement Yo. That's despite him having been put in a terrible situation, at least he's able to keep this racetrack clear.
Nasib baiklah dengan Clement Yo tadi, dengan reaksinya yang hebat dan laju, dia berjaya untuk melepaskan diri dan berjaya untuk meletakkan keretanya ke arah yang selamat. Memang cantik sekali cara dia masukkan keretanya tadi. Memang cantik sekali. Tapi kita tidak memberi markah kepada mereka memparkir keretanya, namun melumba keretanya. So maaf sangat kepada Clement Yo, walaupun cubaan anda terlalu hebat.
But I think with that, Clement Yo could possibly be a retirement here. We haven't seen him come across the line there. I'm not sure whether he's back on track. But for now, though, Haji Sultan is definitely pulling away here from Adam Khalid. Adam Khalid, I'm trying to see if he's still being chased by Kenneth Cole, but it seems like he's starting to build up a gap here and starting to bring the chase now towards Haji Sultan. It's going to be part 2 of the eternal battle now for the podium position. Now, Bradley Benedict, though, he's still attempting to chase the Tongo. To his credit, he's been slowly but surely whittling away at the gap between him and Tom Go. But there's still 1.6 seconds to go, and with 6 laps, Bradley Benedict must do the drive of his life here in order to try to catch up. But in the meantime, though, speaking of catching up, Anna Khalid is literally right on the tail of Haji Sultan.
Adam Khalid cuba sebaik mungkin untuk mencucuk Haji Sultan dan memberitahunya, berilah saya ruang untuk melepasi anda. Namun Haji Sultan menunjuk kedegilan dia dan menafikan segala peluang yang telah pun diciptakan oleh Adam Khalid. Namun tetap ada 5 lagi lap sebelum apa-apa. Adakah Haji Sultan boleh berpegang teguh kepada kedudukannya, ataupun adakah Adam Khalid akan berjaya untuk melepasi Haji Sultan? Kenalah berjaga-jaga kalau Haji Sultan ingin berpegang kepada kedudukan ketiganya dan ingin berada di atas podium. Oh, itulah dia Adam Khalid cuba. Dia berada di luar. Namun adakah mencukupi? Tidak. Memang cantik datang daripada Haji Sultan untuk menutup pintunya. Namun Adam Khalid akan cuba segigih-gigihnya untuk merampas balik sekali lagi. 5 lagi lap tertinggal bagi pusingan ini.
Looks like Adam Khalid is going to try to make a look on the outside again, making his way through turn 5. But I have to say though, trying to make that pass like how Adam Khalid did in turn number 3 is actually quite risky, because there's actually a big bump there on the outside line of turn 3. And the thing is that bump has the potential to upset the balance of any car that goes over it, especially under braking. So what Adam Khalid did there was definitely a very, very brave move there, because knowing that the bump is over there, knowing that Haji Sultan is a very, very stubborn driver that will not give him the gap or the space required in order to get past, it's definitely Adam Khalid is just basically trying every single angle he can possibly think of in order to try to attack Haji Sultan and take his P3.
Kedudukan ketiga sekarang mungkin terjejas bagi Haji Sultan sekarang, sebab dia cuba sebaik mungkin untuk mempertahankan segala cucukan yang datang daripada Adam Khalid. Namun Adam Khalid dengan gigihnya akan cuba sebaik mungkin. 4 lagi lap tertinggal bagi Adam Khalid. Haji Sultan tetap akan berpegang kepada kedudukan dia.
Yep, so Haji Sultan still attempting to hold his own there. Looks like Adam Khalid is not going to be making a move again there. So Haji Sultan will still be able to get through turns 3 and 4 completely unscathed. Kenneth Cole right now facing a bit of pressure from Hayden Heikal from behind, but he's still going to be able to maintain P5 for now. The gap is not quite enough there for Hayden to make a move. Oh, but Adam Khalid make a bit of contact onto the back of Haji Sultan. Definitely a bit of frustration is starting to overboil here onto Adam Khalid's side, because he's making some moves here that could be a bit dangerous. But no, car number 68. Who is that out of the track right now? It's Vincent. Oh no, it's not 69. It's Aishan Muganathan. What happened to him? He was in a battle with Mirza Shami up until then, but it looks like he's completely spun around here, and it's definitely going to be out of the race at this rate. Yellow flags definitely will be waved out. We don't see any indication from the race directors if they're going to be stopping the race a bit, because Aishan Muganathan's car is definitely in a very, very precarious position.
Dan kami pun telah menerima maklumat daripada race director, safety car akan dikeluarkan ke arah tracknya, dan itulah satu benda yang bagus, kerana dengan satu halangan yang telah pun dikenakan oleh Shan Muganathan di pusingan tadi itu, di kereta 69 itu, baguslah daripada segi kereta safety car telah pun dikeluarkan, di mana dia orang boleh keluarkan sisa-sisa kemalangan daripada tempat Shan Muganathan berlanggar dengan dinding tadi itu. Kita tidak dapat maklumat apa ataupun replay, tapi mungkinkah kita akan dapatnya sekejap lagi. Haraplah kita boleh dapat, tapi tiada replay daripada apa yang berlaku kepada Shan Muganathan, kerana dia berlaku di luar pandangan kita, di blind spot kita. So dengan ini safety car telah pun dikeluarkan sebanyak 2-3 lagi lap, sebanyak 3 lagi lap tertinggal. So ini mungkin safety car akan memasuki dalam pit. So 2 lagi lap tertinggal. Ada lagi 2 peluang bagi Bradley Benedict, Haji Sultan dan Adam Khalid berlawan antara satu sama lain untuk memperbaiki kedudukan mereka dan mendapat kedudukan yang lagi tinggi. Namun kami akan lihat boleh dikatakan pacing untuk race ini telah pun dikacau sedikit dengan satu aksiden yang besar yang telah pun berlaku pada permulaan race perlumbaan ini, dan satu lagi aksiden yang berlaku di detik-detik akhir ini. So boleh dikatakan detik-detik detik-detik kelajuan dalam race ini, dalam perlumbaan ini boleh dikatakan diperlahankan sedikit saja.
So here's the thing though, this safety car situation is actually going to favor a lot onto Bradley Benedict and Adam Khalid, because now the gap is going to be shrunk, especially for Bradley Benedict, who is trying to chase onto Tom Go. So this couldn't have come at a better time here. So he is definitely going to be looking to try to get this restart as best he can to try to get past Tom Go. But Tom, being a very experienced member of the Malaysian motorsports community, is definitely going to make his life very, very difficult indeed, and just prevent Bradley Benedict being able to get a leg up. The green flag has been waved, and it looks like they are underway. Bradley Benedict now continue to chase onto Tom Go, and Khalid continue his chase onto Haji Sultan. Which one of these guys will be able to make the overtake? There's only 2 laps to go.
Kami akan lihat ya, sebanyak 2 lap tertinggal, baki 2 lap, dan ini merupakan peluang bagi Bradley Benedict untuk melepasi Tom Go, dan Haji Sultan juga akan cuba sebaik mungkin untuk mempertahankan perlawanan yang akan datang daripada Adam Khalid. Kenneth Cole pun boleh dikatakan jarak antara Kenneth Cole dan Adam Khalid berdekatan antara satu sama lain. Boleh dikatakan safety car yang datang tadi itu memberi peluang kepada Bradley Benedict, Haji Sultan dan Adam Khalid berlawan antara satu sama lain. Tom Go akan menerima tekanan yang bertubi-tubi datang daripada Bradley Benedict.
Bradley Benedict flashing his lights already. He's letting Tom Go know he's going to try to make a move here. Tom Go moves very defensively to the inside. Bradley Benedict doesn't have the way to be able to
Satu lagi
move in.
peluang bagi Bradley Benedict. Satu lagi pusingan. Dia akan keluar kepada race. Dia akan ikuti garis pandu dia. Dia telah pun flash high beam kepada dia. Adakah Bradley Benedict berada di luar? Dia akan mencuba, tapi ditutup oleh Tom Go. Tom Go sekarang berpegang kepada posisi pertama. Bradley Benedict, peluang anda dinafikan.
Oh, Bradley Benedict trying to go again. Tom Go again. He's not out of what's. Oh! And a contact there. Haji Sultan. Is he going to be able to recover in time? He is still going to be able to stay ahead here, but Adam Khalid almost had an opportunity. And there's a bit of contact. Oh, it's going to be hit here. Bradley Benedict. They're going side by side. Bradley Benedict takes the lead just before the pit entry. The final corner is up ahead. Has Tom Go lost it on the last corner of the last lap here? Bradley Benedict coming down towards the last corner. He's coming across the line there. The checkered flag is out. Bradley Benedict has done it. He takes the lead. He takes the win here in race number 2.
Bradley Benedict daripada belakang. Sifat bersabar, sifat menunggu, sifat selalu cucuk kepada Tom Go. Lalunya memberi kemenangan kepada Bradley Benedict pada saat-saat terakhir. Detik-detik terakhir, debaran-debarannya datang daripada Tom Go. Lalu hilanglah kedudukan nombor 1 daripada Tom Go, dirampas oleh Bradley Benedict Anthony yang mewakili Dream Chasers.
Oh my goodness, that was such a great moment there. Kudos there to Bradley Benedict. That was an amazing move. I did not expect that to happen there, but he literally got up alongside Tom Go coming down towards turn 8 there, and that was the key deciding factor. It's been very difficult to make overtakes here, but Bradley Benedict has proved that with enough tenacity, with enough patience, and with enough skill, you can still take wins here in Batu Kawan Stadium. So huge kudos to him, but certainly kudos as well to Haji Sultan. You know, despite the fact that definitely Adam Khalid is not his biggest fan at the moment, Haji Sultan still is able to take P3 in this race here, and that is absolutely crucial. That's a lot of points there that's going to help him towards his title fight against Hayden Haikal, who is unfortunately only has finished P6. So definitely very good opportunity. And look at that, Haji Sultan's little muffler is actually dragging on the track there. That must have been from contact with Adam Khalid just now.
Boleh dikatakan Adam Khalid akan bermusuh-musuhan dengan Haji Sultan nanti, sebab Haji Sultan berjaya untuk mempertahankan segala advance yang datang. Marilah kita lihat detik-detik terakhir, aksi-aksi tayang ke tayang antara Bradley Benedict Anthony dan Tom Go. Memang detik terhebat di dalam keseluruhan kategori sporting perlumbaan kedua ini.
Yeah, so we saw just now that was Bradley Benedict's move onto Haji Sultan, which caused him to slow down at the exit of turn 5, and that resulted in contact between him and Adam Khalid. Then we did see an amazing chase that Bradley Benedict did after the safety car. There was a bit of contact there between Adam Khalid and Haji Sultan again. Haji Sultan fishtailing out, but able to keep his car together and still maintain P3. But this was the moment. Bradley Benedict found a good exit. He got bumper to bumper against Tomko. It became a heat there towards turn number 8, but it looks like Bradley Benedict just had enough space there to take the inside line and take P1 and eventually take the win at the checkered flag. What an amazing race it was for the sporting class here in Race 2. I just couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this man up in front.
Memang cantik sangat. Cubaan yang datang daripada Bradley Benedict Anthony. Tomgo boleh dikatakan agak kecewa, namun kedudukan kedua bagi dia. Thumbs up yang datang daripada dia ke arah dia punya pit crew, dan kami akan haraplah Tomgo akan cuba sebaik mungkin di pusingan seterusnya untuk merampas balik kedudukan dia daripada Bradley Benedict Anthony. Inilah keputusan bagi pusingan yang telah pun terlepas di dalam kategori sporting perlumbaan kedua di Toyota Gazoo Racing Festival, pusingan ketiga di Stadium Batu Kawan, Penang.
Yeah, so again, congratulations to Bradley Benedict Anthony. I mean, this is just certainly redemption, you know, after, you know, an eventful round number 2 for him, making a big contact there at the hairpins. But now Bradley Benedict proved that he definitely has the skills and the ability to take wins when he wants to, and he has proven that in race number 2 here with the sporting class. But I also need to give a shout out here to Mirza, because, you know, he started from the back of the grid, you know, in 16th place. It looked pretty hopeless, but then now he's finished in P8, so that actually net him a few points and definitely has salvaged, I think, more than enough whatever he could do for this weekend. But Bradley Benedict, definitely the man of the hour here, definitely in a celebratory mood here as he poses for some pictures in first place there. But definitely a big moment here for Dream Chasers. I mean, man, this has been quite an eventful weekend.
Itu memanglah Bradley Benedict memang sesuai sangat merampaskan kedudukan nombor 1 daripada Tomgo. Memang boleh dikatakan konsistensi berjaya untuk melepaskan, untuk mendapatkan boleh dikatakan harta lumayan di dalam bentuk kedudukan nombor 1. Mari kita saksikan sorotan bagi pusingan tadi itu.
Yep, so that was, I didn't see it that early, but there was a bit of contact there between Haji Sultan and Tomko. That was why Haji Sultan ended up falling back behind and ended up in a scrap together with Bradley Benedict, which ended up with Bradley Benedict coming up in front of him and taking P2. But for the rest of it, it was marred a lot by this incident over here, where Vincent made contact with a wall and caused a pile-up of, I believe, 7 cars right behind him. Lots of damage sustained to a lot of guys, notwithstanding Clement Yo, Muhammad Ismail Idris, Darmin Bidahang, and Jackson Tan. In fact, 4 cars had to retire before the restart of the race. So that was how severe that incident was. But the rest of the race, though, was pretty much a real scrap, because we got to see a lot of battles here between Haji Sultan and Adam Khalid. Both of these guys, you know, not leaving an inch or a mile between the two of them, just constantly fighting for that position. But it seems that Haji Sultan was the better of the two as he was able to stay on. Clement Yo, you know, he did sustain a lot of damage. His pit crew worked really hard to try to get his car back on track, but it seems like the damage he sustained was way too much to bear. He lost control there, but fortunately was able to keep his car out of harm's way. Then this was another piece of contact here between Haji Sultan and Adam Khalid, you know, which definitely has been adding to the frustrations that he had been facing. So the spin out there from Shanmuganathan Amurugram definitely opened up the door here for Bradley Benedict to stay up onto the tail of Tomko, and in dramatic fashion, with a heat going towards turn 8, he was able to overtake him on the inside and eventually take the win here in Batu Kawan Stadium, Penang.
Memang cantiklah daripada segi sorotannya, memang banyak aksi, memang banyak drama. Kami ada kemalangan yang memang hebat. Kami ada banyak kemalangan pada pusingan ini. Tapi detik-detik terakhir itu merupakan satu detik yang berdebar antara Bradley Benedict Anthony dengan Tomgo. Memang cantik sekali. Pada penonton yang baru sampai ke Stadium Batu Kawan, anda telah pun terlambat bagi pusingan kedua tadi itu. Maaf saya, sporting class tadi itu. Tapi kita tetap ada satu lagi kelas yang telah pun akan berlumba antara satu sama lain, iaitu promotional class yang akan bermula pada jam 3.55 nanti. So jangan ke mana-mana para penonton. So kami akan kembali sebentar lagi. Nama saya Nick Haris, bersama dengan saya adalah Victor Ang. Kami akan kembali dengan aksi Toyota Gazoo Racing Festival.